Right, this is where it now starts to get interesting. So far, we've just been putting content between tags, and the most exciting thing we've done is we've added an image and a hyperlink. But if we want to get in control of our page now and make it exactly how we want it to look, we need to get familiar with styling. So I'm going to introduce some CSS now, and there's a few ways you can do CSS and styling. I'm going to show you the kind of easy way first, which is called inline styling. So what we're going to do is let's get rid of the image because that's just clogging up my page. I don't need that. I'm going to leave the hyperlink because I'm going to show you how it's kind of similar to what we've done here. So do you remember what we did was with the A tag, we said you have to add an attribute. On its own, an A tag doesn't do anything. You have to then put a little space after the opening letter A, and then you paste in the kind of href, the attribute. So that same kind of principle is going to hold true for styling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to whatever tag I want to change. So let's go to the header. I hit a space and then I can type that in. Now it's not, I don't really want href. That's not really what we do. What you want to do is you're going to do style equals and then the speech marks. So rather than href, it's style, and then style for a website doesn't make any sense. So I'll change that. So that's actually how we do it. But you can see it's kind of the same thing. It's you're adding kind of like an attribute to the tag, but it's the style attribute, and this is where CSS comes in. So I'm going to change the header tag. I'm going to put a style on it, and I need to add in a property and a value. So what do we want to change? This is my header at the top. What do I want to change about it? Let's change the background color because that's a really easy thing to understand. So the property is called background-color. Luckily my code editor recognizes that, so I can just click on it if I want. And then I can choose one of the colors, or I can type a hex value in, or RGB or whatever. I'm going to be lazy and click on dark gray, and then I'm going to hit save. So what that's done is it said the header, let's apply a background color to the header. Now I know that the only thing in the header is that page title. So what you're going to see is that the page title is going to be there. The image is gone because I deleted it. But now there's a background color, and you can see that the header really does go the whole way across the page. It doesn't allow anything kind of inline because it's that header tag. That's how it works. Now I can do kind of a similar thing to the footer. Let's just pick this up, everything there, because I don't want to write it again. And I come to the opening of the footer, hit space, and I hit paste. Now that's a bit boring that they're both grey. So let's change that to a leery yellow. Some really cool colors going on here. And then I'll refresh the page. There we go. Cool. So, and again, you can see that the footer, again, doesn't allow anything on the same line because it's a block. And now I've got my dark grey header and my yellow footer. Fantastic. Now, there are hundreds of styles that you can add, and there's just so many. So I'm just going to show you maybe one more. So imagine if I want the page title to not be on the left, but I want it to be in the middle, then I know that there's a property called text align. So I'll type it in this time. So I go style equals, and then my speech marks. And I know, so it's text hyphen align. And then again, you need the colon. And then these are all the options I have. So I'm going to go for center, and I will then save it. And now I refresh the page, and now my page title goes in the middle. So let's just see what's happened there. So my header has a background color of gray, but inside the header, I've got that H1 tag, and I've styled that so that the text is aligned in the center. So imagine if I was to do another H1 in here. Whoops, that's not H at all. And this was to now say logo for some reason. Okay, and I'll save that. What's going to happen? What attributes are going to be put on this H tag? Let's have a look. I'll save it. I'll refresh it. And what you see is that it has the background gray, but it's left aligned, because if you look at it, the style background color is on the header and the logo's within the header. So that's why it inherits that background color. But the style of the text align center is only applicable to this H1 tag here. Now what I could do is I could be cheeky and I could delete this and I could move it up to the header. Now you would have thought that maybe you do that and kind of paste it in, but that's not really how it's done. If you want to do two styles, then let's just delete this. What you're going to want to do is after this little semicolon here that was kind of added in for me, I didn't put that in the code editor to put it in. If I hit a space and now I just put in the next property, So the next property was text align, colon, and then it was center. So what that means is everything in the header has a background color of gray, and everything in the header is text align center. So if I save that and refresh it, now they both go to the middle. So you get to determine where the styling takes place. Does it take place at the header level or the H1 level? And you can even put it on the body up here. So if we really wanted to, we could put body, let's go for style equals, and again, let's just really confuse everything. Let's do a background color on the body and see what happens. If I do background color is red, this is going to look awful, isn't it? And then I save it. What that means is that style is now applicable to the whole body. So let's see how that works. Right, there we go. Now, something interesting has happened. Not only is that horrible on screen, something interesting has happened, because what you see is that actually it hasn't made the header red. It's kept it grey. So think about it. The style at the top is red, and everything between the body tags is going to be red. But if there's a style lower down, then that's going to override the style at the top. And that's why it's called cascading style sheets, because it kind of works its way down. So it starts at the top and says, right, the body's going to be red. So your browser starts off and makes everything red. And then it comes through and it says, oh, actually, the style for the header is background color dark gray. Okay, great. I'll do that. I'll make it dark gray. So it kind of overrides the red at the top. Now, if you're following along, what you'll realize is if I was to get that style and I was to do it at the H1, that's now going to override. Imagine if I was to do that here, that's going to override the background color on the header. So that's just kind of how it works. It cascades down, and then you're able to determine whereabouts do you want to set the style. Is it at the body level? Is it at the header level? Is it at the H1 level? And now you can see why nesting is so important and making sure that your code is clean, because then you can understand it more and you can see why things are happening. Because it might be the case that you look at this and you think, why is my background grey? I told the body to be red. Whereas now it's fairly easy to see that it's because there's a background colour on the header. So there we go. That's kind of like the brief introduction to styling. And like I said, there's so many properties that you can learn and all the different values. The code editor will help you know what you're actually able to do. But now we're starting to get a sense of how to design our pages. Please don't make your page look like this or keep your page like that. But at least you can see that you're now starting to get in control. All right, I'll see you in the next video.